Hello, Will here, and we are in Skyrim today. And yeah, there has been a bit of a gap between this video and the last video. Multitude of reasons as why there hasn't been a video too recently. Many reasons. I'm not going to really go into it because it's boring stuff anyway. It's just fortunate that we had that much time. But here we are here. What matters now is that we are here now, though. And so we are here, and we will be checking out 3 mods. They're going to be slightly kind of, well, I say small. The last one is not. It's kind of a biggish one, but it's a work in progress. And the other two are, their concepts are small, but the impact is just slightly a bit larger. But so for the first one, what we're going to do is we're going to need to go and check out some interiors of buildings. And I think we're going to head off to Rorikstead for the first for mod number 1. Alright, mod number 1. Now, it's not changes to the outside of Rorikstead. That is it was actually a mod that might have it was definitely in a previous video. So, if I can find out which one it is, or remember which one it is, I'll probably put a link in the description somewhere, or something like, or some random bollocks like that. But no. So the first one we are looking at is Skyrim Interiors Redone. Now this was ported by Gaelic Warrior 16, but originally was created by Act Dano over on Nexus Mods. Basically what it does is, well, it kind of basically says what it says on the tin. It's basically, it makes alterations to a lot of the interiors in the main places. I think there's one or two places, there's a couple of areas where it doesn't. I think there was one where it did, but Gaelic took it out, so it could be compatible with JK's interiors. Hopefully it's not Rorikstead. It does say in the description which one it is. I think it might have been Whiterun. So I'm going to look at Rorikstead. I know there's also Iverstead. There's places like Iverstead, Winterhold, Falkreath. Now obviously, if you do have any other mods that make alterations to interiors that isn't JK's interiors, there will probably be most likely some colliding and collisions of objects and stuff like that. So make sure you know what you've got installed before you install this one, if you do decide to have a look at yourself. But we're going to have a look at a couple of places. So we're going to go and sort of have a look in, we're going to look in here, and then we'll go to one of the cities and look at like a couple of buildings in there. So let's just going to have a quick look at the, what is this? Frost Fruit Inn? Is that Frost Fruit? Right. Now, unfortunately, I'm not entirely sure if these textures, because I did recently install 13's Agama's mod by Be Very Very, and I know that made some texture changes to some of the buildings. But I think, like for example, this oven is different. I don't think this stuff has been added in by the mod by Be Very Very. I think this stuff is added in by the mod, the Skyrim's Interiors Redone. But the changes it makes aren't, I believe, they're not like huge, big changes kind of thing. They're like kind of like style of life changes. So you can see like here, this is an inn, so obviously they would sell ales and beers and wines and stuff like that, but you never really saw any on display as such. They were supposed to be selling it, but they never really had any on display. But now, as you can see, you got all the Nord meads, Sun Brew meads. You got the alcohol there on for sale. Well, on display. So it's been more really. And it's like this shop you got a bunch of food. So it's little changes like that. You got an oven here you can use. Behind this door is a big barrel of beer. You can see there's a little bed here. So I'm gonna guess it's probably where this guy sleeps. So I think it's those kind of small changes it makes. I mean, it's a bit weird that there's a Christmas tree in here, but it makes those kind of changes. So changes that you'll notice, but won't be so like out there. It's not mad changes, but this is just an idea of one of them. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to Falkreath, and we're going to have a look at a couple of buildings in Falkreath. So I will see you all in Falkreath. Alright, so here we are, we're in Falkreath. So we're going to have a look at in here, we're going to look at Dead Man's Drink. Probably primarily because we have an alcohol problem. Alright, so I think like the wood texture is from the 13 Argamas mod I have installed. So unless you have that mod installed, the wood texture would probably be the normal in-game vanilla wood texture. But once again, as you can see, it's it's got these extra little bits of decoration. So it's like here you got this like effectively what is basically a little mini kitchen area, but it's hidden behind this sort of new wall that's been placed. So not far into here, there's a little bed that's owned, which I'm going to guess that's probably owned by the person who runs the place. So I'm going to guess it probably is her. I'm going to guess. But that's basically what it does. It's little minor changes like that. But I think it's not just to the inns, it's to other buildings. But I don't want to show you all of them. I'm not going to show you all the buildings. The whole point of this is to give you a little taste, and then for you to download it yourself, and have a look at the rest of it yourself. You don't expect me to do all the work for you now, do you? Yes. So that's going to be it for this first mod. That's going to be it for mod number 1, because we're going to be here for mod number 2 as well, because you may have noticed something already, possibly. But again, so this was Skyrim Interiors Redone, ported by Gaelic Warrior 16, and originally created by Dano over on Nexus Mods. And yeah, I haven't had any performance issues. It still blends in pretty well. It all still seems to work pretty well. From what I've seen so far, there's been no major big problems or bugs or anything like that. So I think Gaelic Warrior 16 has done a pretty good job on the port. So good job there, Gaelic Warrior. And of course, as always, if you want to have a look at the rest of this mod for yourself, if you I quite like little minor changes in my game, or you're just curious about the other buildings, there will be a link in the description below to this mod itself. But right, we are going to go now check out mod number 2, which for that we just need to go outside. Quite literally, just go out the front door, and we'll be able to see mod number 2. Alright, and for mod number 2, we are going to be looking at populated cities. Now, this mod was created by Imperial Agent 1992. Now, I know that there are some people out there who are not a huge fan of Imperial Agent, and there are some people out there who are a fan of Imperial Agent. And I get why people do like his mods, and I also get why people don't like his work. And his thumbnails for the mods he makes a little bit more or less clickbaity. Because that's my biggest issue, is that the pictures he uses are very clickbaity and basically barely illustrate anything about the bloody mod, because it's like, that's not how it looks in the game. But anyway, we're not here to shit on Imperial 1992, no matter what your opinion of him is. I'm here to check out the mod to see if it's any good. But so this is the populated cities. Now the populated cities, it's kind of like an amalgamation of a selection of mods, because I think he's been uploading a bunch of mods where it's like populated Dawnstar, populated Winterhold, So he's been populating the main cities, obviously, with more NPCs. And I think this is sort of like an accumulation of all of them, where he's just blended all of them together in one big mod. So as you can see, well, we had this magical floating lady who just decided magically floated here. Now, I don't think I don't think there's any actual new, uniquely named citizens. It didn't say anything about that in the description. So we know, as you can see, we've just got citizen. Before we go over here, there's probably another person over here called citizen. You know, there's another person here called citizen. Now, obviously, yes, the good thing to see is that they don't have the face glitch. That's a nice thing to see. That's good that they don't have the face glitch, because let's face it, that's kind of a pain in the ass when they do. And you see, he's fine there. And okay, and yeah, I can kind of understand why he wouldn't want to give them names. Because, well, I suppose it depends on how many he's added in per city, I suppose. But I could get the reason why they, as of that moment, they just seem to all be called citizen. Obviously, that's someone else, but I don't know if she's part of the game originally or not.
Try not to judge Valkreath too harshly, visitor. The war has been hard on us.
See, I don't know if she's normally in the game. I have no idea. That's the thing, because she is named, but so far everyone else so far I've come across is citizen. You know, they all just seem to have a name of citizen. But that's not to say that there isn't any uniquely named new NPCs. But
Need something?
and yeah, of course, yeah, you can interact with them, and you know, you can,
Good afternoon.
you know, well, I say interact with them.
Need something?
There's a little bit of interaction, but not a major load. And they do obviously do seem to, you know, move around a little bit. You know, they sort of do interact with their. Well, what I've seen so far is they do interact with their environment a little bit. They're not going bonkers crazy with interacting with environments, but they do interact with but they are interacting with their environment, even if it is only on a basic level. But that's better than just standing there like lemons, so to speak. So we're going to have a look at another city and just see if there's what's going on there. Because then I'll be able to. Because I think there's some cities where I know the citizens better than others. Falkreath, I don't come here that often, so I don't know all the name of all the people in Falkreath. So we're going to go somewhere where I'm where, you know, I'm more likely going to know if they're an actual new citizen or someone who was already originally in the game. Alright, so we're here in Whiterun, and as you can see, we got a citizen. So we definitely got one new citizen there. Citizen, you're already here, so were you, so were you, so were you. You are called citizen. You were already here. So yeah, it just looked like to me that they're all just called citizen. Because if there's a lot of them, you know, it could be a bit of a pain in the ass to create all the names for people. You know, I know what it's like trying to create 100 names. You know. But is it worth downloading? If you are looking for a mod where it just adds people, you know, you don't want these people to be something specific or get curious about the people because you're like, oh, that person's got a name, but that person looks very odd. What do they do? You know, and you're just like, you just want them to just meld into the background and not really be any key part to anything. Then it's like, yeah, this might work for you. Myself, I wouldn't use it. And I would actually more likely go for like increased population, which I've had on previously. I would more likely go for that one because it increases the population with just generic NPCs as well, but it also adds in more unique ones who you can get to be a follower or they're a merchant or whatever kind of thing. You know, they actually have practicality rather than just filling up an empty space. You know, my Wanderer No More Gates of Heaven is obviously, in the ways of a population increase, is scaled down. But that also adds in some people who are followers. But obviously, my own that Gates of Heaven works a little bit differently because of who it adds. It's a little bit different. So I would say. So I'm not going to say it's a bad mod. You know, it does. It does. Okay, it's not overly populated, which is I will say is a nice thing. You can definitely tell there's more people, but it's not overcrowded. So it does what it, so it does seem to do what it says on the tin, which is exactly what you want from a mod. You want it to do what it says on the tin. But so it's dependent on what you're looking for. If you're looking for NPCs who just blend into the background, this might not actually be too bad for you. If you want something that has a bit more of a practical use, then mods like increased population or Gates of Heaven might suit you a little bit better, or any other mods that add in more followers and NPCs and stuff like that might do a better job. But of course, if you're playing on PlayStation and you see the thumbnail, don't believe the thumbnail. It's bollocks. It's bullshit. But as always, I will leave a link to this mod in the description below if you want to try it out for yourself. And again, this was Populated Cities by Imperial Agent 1992, and yeah, it's kind of a bit like Marmite. You either love him or you hate him. It's just a lot of people seem to have a bit of a negative view on him a vast majority of the time. But anyway, we're not going to fill up this we're not going to fill this video with too much negativity. We're going to move on to the final mod, which is a work in progress mod currently being worked on by yours truly. And for this one, we need to go to Dragon's Bridge because we need to go to Dragon's Bridge to leave Dragon's Bridge to go to somewhere else that is for some reason outside Dragon's Bridge. It'll make sense when I get there. Alright, and here we are with the final mod of the video, which is also a mod that has featured before, but it's now been a bit more developed. It's had a bit more work done to it, which if you've seen it previously before, this is the Wanderer No More Skyrim, which is basically is the final mod in the Wanderer No More series that I've been working on. And so this is the final one, and you know, it's a little bit more developed. It's got a bit more. It's still got a lot of the work to go, so it's still in there done yet. But I've done a bit more development on it, and I want to show it off, and just to get a bit of feedback from anyone who watches this, to see what they think, and you know, and just to get feedback. That's why it's at the moment it is actually in the work in progress tab. Is to get that kind of feedback when possible. But anyway, enough of the technicalities. So let's go and have a look at the Skyrim Harbour. And here we are. So, as for this part of it, won't look immensely different. You know, this part hasn't changed too much, but obviously, you know, one aspect that has changed is that people do now move around. Whereas I think originally people weren't even in it. So I don't think, if I can remember correctly, originally they weren't even here. Yeah. As now, so you got Antero, who's just gonna take a nice little seat down there. We got a Skyrim guard there. You know, they come over here. Yeah, for some reason I'm on my one at the moment. This is a thing that I need to try and work out why this is happening. But for some reason I have Lizette. For some reason, I have Lizette here. I don't know why. You know, I don't know why she's there. She just is. For some reason, she just is.
There's nothing like a good song to lift the spirit in troubled times.
But I can't even get her to sing a song.
Come by the Winking Skeever anytime you want to hear a tune.
Yeah, but the thing is, you're not even there, woman. Yeah, but Astra. So obviously, yeah. The NPCs are obviously still a little bit of a work in progress, this, that and the other, but they are a bit more interactive. They do move around a little bit now, this, that and the other. You know, we've got a little bit of a lighthouse up there still. Got a watchtower over here. So I can't remember I can't remember exactly what was in the how things were in the previous. But, you know, but we got all the people and most AI packages. His pathing is a bit odd for some reason. I don't know why. I don't know what's going on with his pathing. His pathing is just being fucking dumb. You're being a bit of a dumbass. I need to check your pathing. You're an idiot. Like twat. But yeah, so I think if I remember correctly last time, the interiors of the buildings weren't done. I think I've only just done the exterior. The interiors for this area are basically all done. The actual harbour itself is basically done. There's still a few like minor details that I need to sort out, kind of thing, you know. So she's got what's on the menu.
Yes?
I need to sort out these two because they should be selling stuff, but obviously they're not working, so I just need to sort them out. That person over there's a dumbass. It's the fucking your path tells you to go this way, you twat. I'm gonna have to mess around with their path, AI pathing, I think, because they're a bunch of idiots. To put it quite simply, they're a bunch of twats. But we do actually have a bit of development on the story aspect for this one. So, if you were to come to this building over here, now obviously you can't interact with the door, that's not an interactable door. Mainly because I'm too lazy to actually do an interior to this, because I want to get this shit done. But you will see that there is a little note over here, and restricted access. And yes, I'm not going to put in brackets underneath because Will is too lazy. But no. So if you click on this, it gives you this little thing here. Due to current conflict in the north, the warehouse is off limits to anyone who does not have clearance to enter. So at the moment, you know, you don't have clearance to enter. There's a conflict going on up in the north, you know. So they need to be careful with their supplies because of this conflict. So they're not allowing us any jolly wally to go in. And there was supposed to be one here, but this one isn't working at the moment for some reason, so I need to fix that. But you know, but this will be the guards barracks, but there's going to be a note here as to why you can't go in as well. But you can still use these things. Yeah, so you're fine for using that. If we just come over to here, to this building over here, we have the Sandmill Farm. Nothing crazy about the Sandmill Farm just yet, but you know, this is still in development, so I may add something to the farm later on down the line. And if we were to come, so you know, Sandmill Farm is technically that part of this behind there, this building, around here, where you got the horses here. There was a bloke around here somewhere. Where'd he go? Where'd he go? Close the gates, the cows don't escape. Oh, I don't know where he went, but yeah, so you know, and then you got a little bit of farmland here, with a bunch of cows and some goats. Oh, there's the bloke. There he is. Yep. Yo, blokey, I can't get over the wall. Your wall is too high. Your wall is too powerful. Yeah, yes, feed the chickens. Aris. Arse. Yeah. You know, so you got a bit of a farmland there, you got up here, this lot over here is going to turn into a market, so his AI pattern is broken again. So in here we got Harbour Trade, which just basically is going to be like your general merchant. Now, Ketty, I think she is working.
Make it quick.
Yeah.
Take a look.
You know, so Ketty is working. So Ketty's fine. It's just the ones on the outside, apart from the one that says about the menu. The one on the menu is working. But the other two need to still need fixing up.
Me.
But this is general. Obviously, you can't buy everything. You know, I mean, you know, you can't buy the beds, you can't buy the chairs. They're just for decorational purposes. And then, bing, bada bing, bada boom, bosh. You know, it's a general trade shop. You know, it's Harbour Trade, bosh. And as you come up here, you're outside Harbour Trade. You go around here, bada bing, bada boom. You just jump over the wall, or fail, jump over the wall. Lovely. If you go over here, you know, this is going to be the import-exports. Yeah, so, wow, Skyrim trade offices. So it's kind of a bit like an import-export office. And Savannah Mode doesn't have any major functionality, but I might... Again, this is still a work in progress, so there is things subject to change, things still to be added. Bada bing, bada boom. You got the Skyrim Guard, which I'm probably going to kill one of those in a short bit. Because why the hell not? But it all depends. I might decide against it. And then obviously up here we got this gate here, which is technically doesn't take you anywhere to ship, because now this is supposed to take you to the main city that is Skyrim. But I need to do some reworking on that, so that's going to be a little while yet. But that's eventually going to take you to the city of Skyrim. But just before you get to the city, you've got this little pub here. The old sea dog. And there you see, there's a little dog in the boat. Woof. But anyway, and yeah, so you know, but you got your pub, you got yes, and then you can, so it is a functional inn. So we're going to have a look inside. Here we are. So we're just in the inn here. And you got a little doggy over here, Eros or Eros, it all depends. Now, the one thing to note about the Tetra, which technically this is what all of these people are, to a degree. It's hard to tell because obviously because of something. Yeah, what's on the menu? You got Areti, Vaso. There should be one or two more people around somewhere. They might be upstairs, they might be downstairs, they could be bloody anywhere for all I know. You know, you go up here, there's a few more benches here. Domal, Akiba. And we got Era.
Yes, I haven't got all day.
Who should be a bard. I need to fix her up. For some reason, she seems to be a bit broken at the moment. Not too sure why. Shouldn't be too hard to fix though, so it should be fine. But a lot of the names are based off sort of going to like Greek and Latin kind of area, kind of thing. But the old Sea Dog, it is a functional pub. I know. You come down here, and you got the kitchen where we got Spiros, blah 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 blah. Lovely, lovely, lovely. But if you come to speak to Medea, you come to speak to Medea, where we got sale, rumours. I'd like to rent a room, 45 gold.
Sure thing. It's yours for a day.
Now, how are you going to take me?
Right this
Yes.
way.
Just take me to my room. Now, let's see how well your AI piping works. It shouldn't be that bloody bad, surely. But Medea here, she is the innkeeper and should be fully functional. To able to get you into here, to get into your room.
Let me know if there's anything else you
And then
need.
bosh. So you can sleep in that bed. Now, I do need to check something very, very quickly. Yeah, I need to make it actually illegal for you to sleep in that bed. I do actually need to sort that out. Yes. Leave! Oh. Oh, right. You gonna leave now? Right. Bye. Yeah, so I need to sort that bed out. So it's actually illegal for you to sleep in that bed. So you can actually sleep in that bed. So I need, but that's gonna take 2 seconds to fix. So we're all good there. But yeah, again, this is still a work in progress. And so obviously there are gonna be like a couple of bits and pieces off here and there. But yeah, so that's how this one's going so far. But yeah, the plan is to turn this basically will turn into a massive city. The city will be its own separate part. This is its own part. But I need to get to the Skyrim city as well. So we've still got that to go just out of the moment. But right, so that's going to be it for this one. As always, I will leave a link in the description below to this one if you want to have a look at it yourself, do some little test running on yourself, and then leave me some feedback of things that you think could work well within this mod or could be changed in the ways of like maybe that, you know, maybe you can add that, or maybe you can make an alteration to that, or you know, or something like that, or you need a little suggestion of something to add, you know, kind of thing, you know, little things like that. I'm all ears and always open for that kind of discussion. But yeah, so this was The Wanderer No More, Skyrim. which is the final mod for the Wonder No More series. But of course, work in progress, so it'll still be a while before it's out. But right, that is it for this video. We are all done. So in this video, we checked out Skyrim Materials Redone, populated cities, and the as aforementioned Skyrim. So if you like this video, why not leave a like, and why not subscribe to the channel as well to see what other videos of Skyrim I've done, but to see what other mods that I have covered. Because there might be some mods out there that you haven't seen, that I've done, well, covered, and thought, ooh, I quite like that one, I'm going to have a go at that one. But you can also leave me mod suggestions in the comments below if you know of a mod that I haven't looked at yet, and thinking, oh, we should have a look at that one. Why not leave a suggestion for me in the comments below? Or why not do what Dragon Blade Kalal did with a mod suggestion, which we'll be looking at in a future video, and go into the description below, and in there you will find a link to my Discord. You can then go follow that link, join me on my Discord, where you can leave more suggestions on my Discord. But also on my Discord, you can ask me questions about modding in general, any kind of modding questions, how to get started with modding, or if you're looking for a particular mod, you can let me know. I might actually have an idea of where to find that kind of style of mod. Or if there's a mod that you quite like the idea of, but you can't find it. Maybe either me or another modder who is also on my Discord could think about making it. Because I do have a couple of modders who are also on my Discord as well. So if you have a request, why not you can leave me a request on my Discord, and if I can't make it, maybe someone on there can. So of course, that is it for this video. Once again, all the links for these mods will be in the description below, and there will also be a link to my Discord in the description below as well. But right, I'm done from waffling on. Time for me to get out of here. So until next time, I'll see you all later.